The future perfect tense in Spanish speaks about what will have happened at some point in the future. In English, it's a tense that's not used often, but when it is, it's a simple concept because all we do is put the construction will have and then we add any participle that we want after. In Spanish, however, we have a slightly different concept that again uses the verb haber, but in the future perfect, we use a conjugation that is equivalent to both of the words will have. For the yo pronoun, we have the word habré, which is a conjugation of haber plus any participle that we want after. For tú, we have habrás. For él, we have habrá. For nosotros, we have habremos with no accent, making it the only conjugation of haber in the future perfect with no accent. For vosotros, we have habréis, and for ellos, we have habrán. As you can probably tell by looking at the chart, the ending of all of these conjugations of haber perfectly correspond to the ending pattern of verbs in the simple future. And that is because the future perfect literally just copies the ending that you would have for verbs in the simple future for the verb haber, so it's really not that difficult to memorize. As always, try not focusing on these conjugations because they're the least used ones in conversation. In Spanish, a way that the future perfect can be used effectively is by using it with time expressions like para and dentro de, which mean by and within, and then any time expression that you want. These constructions can help us talk about what will have happened at some point in the future. Saying something like para el lunes yo habré terminado mis tareas can mean by Monday I will have finished my tasks, with el lunes being the time expression, habré signifying the words will have for yo, and terminado being the participle. Similarly, I can say dentro de un año tú habrás dejado tu trabajo, meaning within a year you will have left your job, using un año as a time expression with the construction dentro de. Additionally, I can say para esa fecha John habrá recibido muchas ofertas, which means by that date John will have received many offers, with esa fecha being the time expression. As always, the same concept applies to any phrase that you want to say using the future perfect tense in Spanish. Even though I did not present many examples in this video and only concentrated on the first three pronouns, the future perfect tense is one of the least used ones in Spanish, mainly because no one uses it in actual conversation. As a matter of fact, I did not present any sentences involving negatives, reflexive verbs, and object pronouns, mostly because it's impossible to make a logical phrase using these ideas in the future perfect. If anything, the future perfect is a tense that is useful to know, but not useful to utilize simply because it's used in rare cases when talking about actions that are guaranteed and completed by some point in the future. Both literally and conversationally, the future perfect is not used very often, if ever, which is why it's useful to understand how it works, but not so much to use. So that's that. This has been the future perfect tense in Spanish. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I made your learning just a bit simpler.